Hey, Smokey, let's get lunch from the Marketplace food court.
You know what? That sounds good.
They have oxtails, pumpkin, curried lamb, lemon chicken, sweet and sour ribs, vegetable stir-fry, and the variety goes on.
Their chefs are good. They'll set you right up. Avoid the good carbons.
And don't forget the special dishes from the island.
It don't matter. No matter what you feel like eating, Marketplace will have it.
You know, it's quick, it's quality, and at prices you can count on.
Visit us 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Made for you daily at the Hamilton Marketplace Food Court.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Friday, July 21st, 2017. I'm Diane Brewer, and thanks for joining us tonight. Word reaching our newsroom tonight that outspoken church pastor Nicholas Tweed could make an appearance back at the pulpit at his St. Paul's AME Church this Sunday. It follows that long-running saga under the former OBA government in which then Home Affairs Minister Patricia Gordon Pamplin refused to grant him a work permit extension. You'll recall the Supreme Court granting Reverend Tweed permission to remain in Bermuda while he appealed the minister's decision. However, he could not engage in employment in the interim. The Chief Justice later heard the appeal and overruled the minister's decision, saying it breached the rules of natural justice. Sources have told our newsroom the Reverend, who continued to receive widespread personal support throughout his legal battle, was waiting for the all-clear today to return to work in his church on Sunday. In other news, one of the Progressive Labor Party's new ministers, Levita Fogo of No. 3 St. David's, has been tasked with a new ministry, government reform. Ms. Fogo will recommend changes in order to improve the government and its relationship with the people.
I was absolutely elated to have won a third time in that constituency, and indeed by such an overwhelming majority of the votes. I did defeat my opponent by 509 votes, and I just want to give a great big thank you to the constituents of St. David's who clearly threw their support behind me.
You touched on it there, government reform.
Yes, this is an exciting and new ministry. There are other jurisdictions that have a similar ministry, but here in Bermuda, we thought it important enough, given what the 2025 vision is for our government and some of the promises set out by our premier in terms of even the 100-day challenge, that we want to ensure that we meet to make certain that we keep our promises. Government reform is focused on looking at how we can make certain that government, it does indeed run more efficaciously and more efficiently and in response to societal needs and the needs of the people therein. And basically, government reform, as its mantra, is always focused on making certain that everything that is done within the government body proper is in response to the needs of the community that it serves. And certainly in this new capacity, that will be part of my remit in terms of specifically the areas that fall under me and in general for the government as a whole, in meeting its agenda to make certain that we provide the environment for Bermuda that we said that we would, and that is in the best interest of Bermuda and its people.
So we are just 24 hours into the new PLP government with 12 cabinet ministers already hitting the ground running. Much light has been shed on the person who sits at the top, new Premier and Finance Minister David Burt, in one of our first profile features on the new government. Tarai Trot introduces the country to the man who now holds the highest office in the land.
He has led his party to victory and power at the young age of 38 and is now the country's youngest premier, the head of the first progressive Labour Party government in 4.5 years. But who is David Burt?
As most people would know, and if they don't know, that I'm a big Somerset fan. As you can see, I'm wearing my red and blue.
Many might not know that the new Premier and Minister of Finance is also a trained aviation pilot, having attended the prestigious Florida Air Academy in 1996. But not stopping there with his education, a young David Burt went on to attend the influential George Washington University in Washington, D.C., where he earned a Bachelor of Business Administration degree with a double major in Finance and Information Systems. He was so accomplished in academia that he was later awarded the George Washington University Presidential Administrative Fellowship when he went on to receive his Master of Science in Information Systems degree in 2003. Looking to put his education to use in the real world at the age of 25, David Burt pursued his passion for computers and founded GMD Consulting Limited, a small business consulting firm focusing on project management. Not stopping there, he went on to serve on the Tourism Board, the National Training Board, and as director of the Bermuda Chamber of Commerce.
Our seniors are paying more for food and health care, while their first pension increase in 5 years didn't even keep up with inflation.
Entering the world of politics, the ambitious soon-to-be premier, known for his eloquent speech and sharp intellect, started out as chairman of the Progressive Labor Party before being elevated to the role of government senator and chief of staff to former Premier Paula Cox. The son of Gerald and Merlin Burt, Mr. Burt is married to his university sweetheart Kristen, with whom they have 2 children.
And you might be surprised to hear that one of the few things the new premier has in common with the former premier is their support for Somerset Cricket Club. And before we continue, we need to acknowledge what took place here during last night's newscast. It did not escape many of you that we did not air the big story of the day concerning the new cabinet being sworn in until the end of the newscast. The placement of that story was purely due to an extremely limited amount of time we had in which to produce it due to a delayed start of the ceremony at Government House, combined with some technical issues here at the station. Despite our frantic efforts behind the scenes to air the story at the top of last night's cast, the story just was not completed soon enough for transmission. And for that, we sincerely apologize to you, our loyal viewers. Stay with us. More news in tonight's AccuWeather forecast after the break.
Certified Angus beef top sirloin steak, only $8.99 per pound. Whole seedless red ripe watermelons, just $14.99 each. Heinz Easy Squeeze ketchup, only $3.29 for a 20-ounce bottle. Hunt's barbecue sauce, just $2.09 for an 18-ounce bottle. Sargento shredded cheese, only $3.99 for a 7-ounce package. Shelley Bay, Heron Bay, Modern Mart, and Price Right Warwick stores will be open both days of Cup Match from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m.
You can count on us. Hey, stop what you're doing and take a look at this.
On this coming Saturday at 7 p.m., we will all gather at West Pembroke Pentecostal Assembly, where I'll be leading our one night of worship.
Then on Sunday at 6:30 p.m. at Heritage Worship Center, we will all gather here for a powerful post-election service.
I will be preaching. The amazing Bishop Duncan will be preaching. And my wonderful wife, Pastor Chanel, will be preaching.
Nice big water park, more play equipment, beaches.
And if we had a gigantic playground.
We should jump up to heaven and come back down into the ocean. On a bouncy castle.
Swimming. We should keep Bermuda clean and pick up all our dresses.
By people being more friendly.
By having your next door neighbors as a family.
Keep your mind wide open with the Cisco Networking Academy. Cisco Academy, the world's largest classroom, offering an innovative education that provides information technology skills for students globally to improve their career and economic opportunities.
There is absolutely nothing like the Cisco Networking Academy program. It provides the skills, the curriculum, it gives everything that a person needs.
Cisco Networking Academy, locally relevant, globally consistent. Now in Bermuda, at Bermuda College.
Welcome back. Well, the new Education Minister, Diallo Rebane, tasked with restoring the island's public school system, confident in his ability to carry out the job. In his maiden interview as Minister of Education, Mr. Rebane spoke with our Tarai Trot at Government House and describes his eagerness to begin addressing one of the Progressive Labor Party's top issues.
I just feel truly blessed to be able to do something for the children of Bermuda and our future generations. I look forward to this appointment. I look forward to going there and doing my absolute best. We've set out a solid platform, I think, and if you look at our platform, we have some short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals. As long as we stick to that and do the things that we're supposed to do, I think we're going to be all right down there.
The public will be wondering, what do you bring to the ministry or to the portfolio in terms of your background?
Well, Tarai, I bring to this position, just like I bring to any other position, a passion for getting the job done, a passion for working with the individuals that we do have in place and putting the best team forward to do the job that needs to be done. And I think that's what, when I look at education, that's what I think has been lacking down there, is putting the right people in the right positions to do the right things at all times. And that's what we're going to be doing. One of the things we have in our platform is that any strategic plan that we have will have measurable milestones built within it. So we'll be able to track what we're doing and how well we're doing as we go along. And as long as we stick to that, we'll be able to make sure that education is where it's supposed to be when it needs to be there.
The former Shadow Education Minister retained his seat during Tuesday's general election in Devonshire North Central, winning by 279 votes to the OBA's Fabian Miners. In other news, the Family Center congratulates the Progressive Labor Party on their election as well as their commitment to investing in social development. Martha Dismon, Executive Director, says the new government's pledge to inject funding into projects to benefit young people and education gives the Family Center hope.
The platform had many promises and commitments to working for the people, getting the people stable and in a position to really do well. I think that's very important. I've, for the most part, stayed away from the political aspect of this because I think, as this government seems committed to and others are aware of, we have to just keep the pedal to the metal. We have to do the work that's so important for families, for our young people, and therefore I wanted to just see where we landed, and then just do a real assessment of how we're going to be able to get this situation under control.
Meanwhile, Ms. Dismont recognizes that the island's social ills cannot be solved by just one group.
Certainly the pledge is to invest where we need to have the resources go, which is to ensure that people have job opportunities, job skills, that our young people are educated. Huge sigh of relief to know that our young people, education for our young people is a priority. And it isn't that the other government didn't have that. I just believe that there's more of an emphasis on it as this pledge that we've seen from the PLP. So I'm excited that if we're actually able to do, or certainly if they're actually able to do what they pledged to do, that we will see a different Bermuda. So I'm hoping that everyone's willing to work together to this end, because that's what's important. It isn't just about what we're saying we want to do, but I think it takes the entire community. There is no group that's going to be able to do it by themselves.
In other news, a 35-year-old Bermudian has come up with an app to encourage Bermudians to shop locally and improve the local economy. Chris Phillips, the managing director of Phillips Innovations, has more on what can be achieved with the app.
Well, this app is called Dealio Deals. Dealio. You can find it in the App Store for Apple phones. You can find it in the Play Store for Android phones. It was inspired by a conversation I had a while ago about Wayne Kane saying that money should really move back and forth within an economy before it leaves the economy to support that economy. And I wondered, how can I support this? How can I make that happen? Some of the same struggles of leaving the island and finding something, bringing it back and having to pay the customs or whatever, but it's here now. You know what I mean? You can find it location-based. There's hidden treasures here on the island. There's mom and pop shops that are trying to survive. They're trying to sell this stuff to you. They have it and you don't know about it. So this helps them get on an even playing field with the big boys.
Mm-hmm. And eventually, the long run would be to improve the economy, wouldn't it?
Absolutely. I definitely want to improve the economy. We want money to exchange hands between people in Bermuda. Tourists could use it when they're here. They're looking for their favorite shampoo. You have your favorite shampoo. That's a relationship. You don't want to break that up. So you can find it here locally on the island. It gives you the numbers, the emails, the contacts of everyone, as much information. They want to put it up, Google Maps directions, everything.
And take note, we have news just reaching us that OBA MP Patricia Gordon Pamplin has been named as the OBA's interim party leader. It follows a meeting this evening in which a vote was taken. Mrs. Gordon Pamplin will be supported by Sylvan Richards Jr., who will be interim deputy leader. Once again, Patricia Gordon Pamplin tonight named as interim leader of the One Bermuda Alliance. Turning to weather news, mostly sunny with a possible shower or two for the weekend. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you tonight's AccuWeather forecast. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Brittany Boyer, and happy to be here to give you your forecast as we head into the weekend. Hopefully you've had a great week so far. As we take a look at what's going on right now, we have high pressure just off to our east, and you know what? Around that high pressure, we're kind of getting a bit of a surge of moisture. So this is where we do see the enhanced threat for a couple of spotty showers. The good thing is, we still need the rain pretty badly right now. Here's a look at things a little bit closer to home. Anything that we do see for tonight is going to be pretty spotty in nature, but if we can get any of these rain bands to set up over us, that is where we will have the opportunity of seeing some scattered showers as we head into tonight. What we're also seeing with that moisture around is, well, it's a little bit humid outside. We're looking at humidity right now between 70 and 75%. So I know for the ladies, this time of the year when you get the humidity, it's hard to control your hair. So it's a little bit humid outside. We're seeing the winds out of the west 10 to 20 knots. Right now, the air temperature in the low to mid 80s, and that's exactly where our water temperature is as well. So nice and comfortable on the water. However, it's a little bit choppy, especially as you get outside of the reef. We are looking at waves between 3 and 6 feet. So let's talk about the forecast as we head into tonight and also as we step into your weekend. As I mentioned, we could see a couple of showers in the area for tonight. It will stay muggy out there. We're looking at a low of 80 degrees for tonight, a shower or two. Otherwise, it will be partly cloudy tonight here on the island. As we head into the start of the weekend, I know everybody's waiting for the weekend. Here's a look at your Saturday. Partly sunny, a shower in spots, so just keep it in mind. If you are going to be out and about during the day, perhaps running errands, we could see a shower roll through the area anytime. Temperatures will be right around 86 degrees, so we're looking at near normal temperatures. However, our nighttime lows still staying a bit muggy out there. Here's a look at your tidal and marine conditions. We don't have any advisories. However, we did have some issues earlier this afternoon. Your tidal times right there. High tide 1 coming in at 7:41. High tide number 2 coming just after 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. All right, we'll take a peek at what's to come here as we head right into your getaway forecast. Perhaps you're on the island for some vacation. Maybe you're heading back toward the East Coast. Well, Toronto, Canada, we're looking at temperatures in the upper 70s. Nice and dry there. New York City, the Big Apple, they've had a lot of heat over the last couple of days. Some spots in the Northeast have been climbing into the upper 90s. Boston, 88, partly sunny skies. Then as you get into the Southeast, it's the time of the year where they have a lot of thunderstorms. They're diurnal. They start in the afternoon, they pop up, and then by the evening time, they kind of fizzle out. That's what they're seeing in Atlanta, also Miami. London, 67 with showers and thunderstorms. We'll check out things in Jamaica. We're seeing some showers and storms around here. Jamaica, Barbados, also Trinidad. However, there is no tropical development expected. We have a couple of tropical waves that are well to our south, but we don't expect anything in the Atlantic right now to really fire up here over the next couple of days. A lot of the action right now is in the Pacific Ocean out towards, say, Hawaii. So we are good to go as far as tropical development is concerned. Your Saturday, a couple of showers around 86 degrees. Sunday will be a dry day if you're going to be out running errands. Partly sunny, 86, and 86 degrees seems to be the popular number Monday and Tuesday. If you are wondering when we could have more significant rainfall, aside from these spotty showers, we will have to stay tuned to our Wednesday. That's when our next front comes off the East Coast, and should that kind of stall out in the area, that would give us a beneficial rainfall. And again, that would come Wednesday and Thursday of next week. All right, as always, for the latest news and weather information, tune into these 3 local radio stations: Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
In
In association with America's Cup Endeavor and BASE, BF&M launched the No Limit Sailing Program for children with autism.
When Kieran first started with us, didn't speak that much. He has very little social skills, so he doesn't understand the social norms.
So the Endeavour programme is focused on giving 9 to 12-year-olds access to sailing through education. The biggest surprises are just how some of the children take to sailing, take to a different environment in a very different way. And one of the boys just putting his hands in the water and feeling the flow of the water. And then some of the other children who may not be able to be competitive in other sports, or having a go at trimming the sail correctly or steering in the right direction.
I'm happy.
You're happy, okay.
I think in the beginning, something outside of anything that he's ever experienced. Since he's started got into the routine of what's going on. He can describe what's going on, so that communication aspect and descriptive language is big for him. Instead of seeing it in a picture, he's experiencing it.
Bermuda's electricity system is at a critical crossroad. Our aged infrastructure cannot support the island's future needs. Belco has a solution. We have proposed 3 major upgrade projects to the regulatory authority. Replacement generation, to replace aged engines to ensure reliability. Transmission and distribution upgrades, to replace aged overhead and underground cables to improve efficiency. Introduce liquefied natural gas, to reduce fuel emissions and stabilize costs. If implemented together, these projects will deliver maximum benefits for you and Bermuda. Stronger system reliability, more stable rates, lower operating costs, job creation, a cleaner Bermuda. If nothing is done, rates will rise and reliability will decrease. Your energy future starts here.
Bermuda Broadcasting Company is pleased to present the first round of the 114th Annual Eastern Counties Cup Competition, featuring defending champions St. David's and challengers Bailey's Bay at Lords in St. David's. Join the island's #1 leading cricket commentary team of Alan Richardson, Wendell Smith, and Dwayne Sluggo Levrock with live ball-by-ball coverage. Saturday, July 22nd, starting at 10 a.m. on Power 95 FM, the island's #1 station for your Eastern County Cup Competition. Brought to you by Lindo's Group of Companies, John Barrett & Son Limited, and Steve Doring Services Limited.
Turning to sports, Bermuda footballer fails to agree with terms of contract with his club. Young basketballers heading to Florida for training and matches, and Bermuda athletes continue to compete in the Youth Commonwealth Games in the Bahamas. Earl Basden has these stories and more in tonight's sports report.
Raee Simons is no longer a registered player with Chesterfield Football Club after failing to sign a deal offered to him by the club. Chesterfield released their shirt numbers for next season, and Simons, who was expected to extend his stay at the Chesterfield club at least until he had recovered from his Achilles injury, was not among the names listed. Simons required surgery from a ruptured Achilles tendon sustained in April against Scunthorpe United. Simons has made 46 appearances and scored 5 goals for Town since signing from Eccleston in April of 2015. Simons' time at the club appears to have come to an end. Some of Bermuda's brightest upcoming basketball players are heading to Florida for basketball training and games, something that Bermuda Basketball Youth Federation's coordinator Chris Crumpler is extremely excited about.
We got 38 boys traveling away with 4 teams, and it's very significant. To give the exposure, the training, like you said, leading up, all the training that we've done here at Barkley, at Delwood, at Cedar Bridge, at the beach. Now it culminates to this 1 week, and we're going to focus on training as well. So it's not go play games and come back. The focus is they put more time in training than they actually do play games, and they get evaluated from ex-NBA players. They all get a report card, and then we get to look at film of them playing and training. And so breaking down film. And on top of that, just the whole experience. They get to play at Eckerd College, a Division II school in Sarasota, Florida. They go to IMG Academy and play a game against them. Then they go to play at the Orlando Magic practice facility in the Big Six Series tournament, where they all play 2 games on the Saturday before we go home. So just a plethora of experiences. And then all-day training from 8 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Defending Eastern County champions St. David's Cricket Club and challengers Bailey's Bay have announced their team for their first round match, which will take place at Lord's in St. David's tomorrow. The Eastern County match will get underway at 10 a.m. The teams are as follows: St. David's Cricket Club, O.J. Pitcher as captain, George O'Brien as vice captain, Shannon Rayner, C.J. Otterbridge, Delwan Borden, Rudal Pitcher, Justin Pitcher, Chris Douglas, Lionel Can, Chris Fogo, and Mackay Simmons. And Kumar Cannoneer is the 12th man with Ricky Fogo and Onai Smith the reserves. Bailey's Bay team is as follows: Rodney Trott as the captain, Taryn Frey vice captain, Sinclair Smith, Stephen Otterbridge, Malachi Jones, Derek Brangman, Colt, Kyle Hutzel, Zico Burgess, Trey Manders, Trey Govia, and Cooley Durham. Danico Hollis, Azende Furbett, and Nairobi Carmichael are the reserves. One Communications and the Bermuda Cricket Board announced the One Communications Premier Division Player of the Week is Alan Douglas Jr. of St. David's Cricket Club. In the game last weekend against Cleveland County, Douglas scored 160 not out, sharing a record partnership of 275 runs with his cousin Chris Douglas. His innings allowed St. David's Cricket Club to reach a mammoth 458 runs, while the One Communications First Division Player of the Week is Reginald Baker of Flats, Victoria. In his team's game against Willacotts, Baker batted the entire Flats innings to score 115 not out and lead his team to an outstanding victory after Willacotts had scored an impressive 264 runs. Members of the Bermuda Youth Commonwealth Games team were back in action on day 2 of competition. In their third game, the women's rugby sevens team, Bermuda went down to Canada 64-0. At that point, they had conceded 182 points in 3 games. The Bermuda team finally scored a try, which came in their 4th game of the tournament when they went down 50-5 to Fiji. Bermuda would fall in their final game of the day 20-0 to Trinidad and Tobago. Jesse Washington finished 6th in the boys' 200-meter butterfly final, touching the wall in a time of 25-17. Madeline Moore finished 3rd in Heat 2 of the girls' 50-meter backstroke, clocking a time of 30-73. During the boys' 50-meter backstroke Heat 1, Washington finished 6th with a time of 31-76. Moore finished 4th, competing in the girls' 100-meter freestyle Heat 2, touching the wall in a time of 58-40. Washington touched the wall in a time of 52-31 during the boys' 100-meter freestyle Heat 4, which saw him finish 4th. Dean Leo Brangman was on the track and he finished 4th in Heat 3 of the boys' 400-meter dash, clocking a time of 49-52. Adam Hall helped his Gulf Coast League Orioles teammates improve to 9-11 on the season following their 10-7 victory over the Red Sox. Hall, playing at shortstop, went 3 for 5 from the plate. That included 1 double and 1 RBI. Hall also captured his first professional stolen base. Daniel Augustus shot a Greater Bangor Open first round 1 over par 70 and sits tied 40th on the leaderboard. Augustus was at 1 under through the first 5 holes, but 2 bogeys and 2 pars on the final 4 holes saw him make the turn at 1 over par. On the back 9, Augustus opened with 3 straight pars before shooting a birdie on the par 4 13th hole. Augustus would then run off 4 more pars before closing out with a bogey to finish at 1 over par. Patrick Nisbet continued competing in the Moines Guyline International Horse Jumping event in Belgium. On day 3, Nisbet competed in 1 class. Competing in the 1.40 meter CSI 2 in 2 phases class, Nisbet and Blue D. Nicola finished 34th. They clocked a time of 47.60, but they had 16 penalty fault points. And just a reminder that Bermuda will take on Jamaica on Sunday evening at the National Sports Center in the Women's Under-20 World Cup qualifiers beginning at 8 p.m. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Great for picnicking, fresh express coleslaw, just $2.99 for a 14-ounce package. Purdue Fresh Value Pack chicken thighs or drumsticks, only $1.89 per pound. Great for salads, Kraft salad dressings, just $4.29 for a 16-ounce bottle. Barbecue with Kingsfoot Matchlight Charcoal, only $15.69 for a 6.2-pound bag. Tropicana Premium Orange Juice, just $5.49 for a 59-ounce bottle. Have a safe and happy Cup Match holiday from the marketplace.
Welcome to Parlerville Pharmacy. How can I help you?
Parlerville Pharmacy is a full-service retail pharmacy in the heart of Hamilton. We're your owner-operated independent community pharmacy with the friendly neighborhood service that sets us apart.
We take the time to get to know you.
Explain your medications.
And to answer any questions you may have.
If you have trouble keeping track of your prescriptions, over-the-counter medications, and vitamins, ask about our monitored dosage systems, or MDS. With the MDS packaging system, we'll actively manage your medications and simplify your life. We welcome special orders and requests for bespoke medications. You'll find a wide range of beauty and personal care products, including many high-quality European beauty and personal care items. We also have a travel section.
You can trust us
with your health and well-being,
and to provide you with caring, expert service.
Parleville Pharmacy, your prescription for health.
And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thanks for joining us. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone. Good night.